Carl Jung revealed that empaths who survive narcissistic abuse navigate 4 profound psychological stages. The final stage terrifies narcissists, as it unveils your shadow-integrated strength. It begins with your innate empathy, a radiant beacon that draws predators like moths to a flame. By stage 4, you've forged an unshakable shield against their manipulation. Rooted in the unconscious wisdom Jung championed. But stage 2 is where most empaths falter. Broken by the weight of betrayal, survive it, and you'll become unbreakable. Picture this: you're alone, reeling from another devastating encounter with someone who promised love but shattered your sense of self. You've given everything, your energy, your boundaries, your soul, only to be discarded, like yesterday's news. You ask yourself, how did I let this happen again? Jung saw this as the shadow's call, a mirror reflecting your unconscious patterns. For empaths, this painful awakening comes at a brutal cost. The collision with your shadow unfolds not just within but through the predatory actions of those who exploit your light. Yet Jung uncovered a truth that changes everything. Empaths don't just feel deeply, they possess what I call subconscious truth detection. Jung noted that highly sensitive souls can sense what others hide, even without realizing it. You see through facades effortlessly, feeling the pain behind someone's anger or the void beneath their charm. Jung wrote, "Your vision clears when you gaze into your own heart. Those who look outward dream. Those who look inward awaken." This gift of seeing the unconscious truths in others is your power. But it has a shadow side. Narcissists are drawn to your empathy like moths to a flame, craving your light to mask their inner darkness. They need your vitality to feel alive. But unlike moths consumed by fire, narcissists seek to extinguish your light. What I call Jung's vampire dynamic describes this psychic parasitism, where they drain your life force. Empaths, with their natural generosity, become the perfect prey. Jung mapped how predators exploit sensitive souls, revealing patterns I call the 4 stages of empathic destruction. Understanding these stages is your key to breaking free from their cycle forever. Stage 1. The light trap begins with your unconscious radiance. What Jung termed overflowing libido, your vibrant life energy. This creates what I call empathic magnetism. You radiate warmth, understanding, and acceptance, making others feel safe before they even know why. As a child, you were the one comforting others' tears, unable to bear cruelty or abandonment, absorbing the emotional weight of your family. But this is the trap. Your light doesn't just draw those seeking healing, it lures predators hunting for supply. Jung wrote, "Where love reigns, there is no will to power. Where power dominates, love is absent." Narcissists, driven by a will to power, see your love as their feeding ground. In this stage, narcissists study you. They observe how you respond to their sob stories, how you react to their vulnerability, how much you'll give before you suspect their motives. They're not falling for you, they're cataloging your weaknesses for psychological manipulation. Jung's insights show how predators map your empathy like a general charting enemy terrain. They learn which buttons to push to keep you giving, caring, and sacrificing. Comment below if you felt like a magnet for wounded souls. I attract what needs healing. You don't see it as predation because it feels like being needed. Like you're special, the only one who truly understands them. Jung warned of this trap. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. In stage 1, you're becoming who they need you to be. If stage 1 sets the trap, stage 2 is the great devouring. Jung saw narcissists not just craving your love, but seeking to consume your psychic essence. This is where the shadow war begins. A psychological assault, where your anima, your inner emotional core, is targeted. Jung wrote, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemicals. If there's a reaction, both are transformed. But with narcissists, only you transform. And not in a healthy way. You shrink while they inflate. A process Jung called projection, but I call a shadow assault. Suddenly, you're labeled too sensitive, too needy, too much. They rewrite history to make you the problem in every conflict. Your empathic gift, sensing others' emotions, becomes a weapon against you. This is the empathic inversion, where your compassion is turned into your cage. When they rage, you feel responsible for their anger. When they withdraw, you feel guilty for their distance. When they betray, you wonder what you did to push them away. Jung saw this as projection. Narcissists can't face their own shadow, so they cast it onto you. You start believing their version of reality, where you're the broken one, needing fixing. This psychological torment punishes the very qualities that make you radiant. Your compassion is branded weakness. Your boundaries, selfishness. Your needs dismissed as drama. Jung described this as the ego's dissolution under psychic pressure. You walk on eggshells, monitoring their moods, shape-shifting to avoid their wrath. I call this hypervigilant empathy, where your nervous system runs 24/7, anticipating their next emotional explosion. Jung observed that prolonged exposure to this abuse creates dissociation, what I call soul fragmentation. Parts of your true self hide to survive, disconnecting you from your needs, deceive, and truth. This is the shadow's grip, forcing you to lose touch with your authentic anima. Jung wrote, "No tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. Stage 3 is your descent into that hell. The complete collapse of everything you thought you knew about love, self, and reality. This is the empathic collapse, where your boundless giving runs dry. Your infinite capacity to understand others hits its limit, and your ability to justify their behavior crumbles under the weight of truth." Jung called this the dark night of the soul, a necessary psychic death before rebirth into individuation. Narcissists often escalate their abuse here. Sensing your awakening, they launch what I call the final harvest campaign, love bombing mixed with heightened cruelty, designed to extract every last drop of your empathic energy before you break free. Your collapse becomes your breakthrough. Jung knew this wasn't pathology, but psychology, a call to face the unconscious truths you've avoided. He wrote, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. In stage 3, you confront your role in your own destruction. You question everything, not just the relationship, but yourself. Why did I allow this? Why did I stay so long? Is something wrong with me?" Jung saw these as the essential questions of individuation, arising as you seek wholeness in midlife. This painful inquiry leads to psychic wholeness. Jung called it confronting the shadow, not theirs, but yours. You face the parts of yourself that enabled the abuse, people-pleasing, conflict avoidance, or craving the feeling of being needed. Jung understood healing requires recognizing your role without taking blame for their actions. The breakthrough comes when you see your empathy isn't the problem, it's the lack of boundaries around it. Your shadow holds the key to your strength. The narcissist triggered you because they mirrored your abandoned self, the parts you sacrificed to keep them happy. Jung's individuation process demands integrating these lost pieces, forging a self that balances the anima's compassion with the animus's strength. Stage 4 is the phoenix's rebirth. Jung believed individuation means becoming your true self by integrating all aspects of your psyche, including the shadow. You emerge with what I call shadow-integrated empathy, compassion tempered with discernment. You still see their pain, feel their emptiness, and recognize their wounded inner child. But you're no longer compelled to fix it. Jung wrote, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to be." In stage 4, you choose yourself. Not selfishly, but consciously. You understand your empathy is a sacred gift to protect, not a resource to be exploited. You develop what I call bounded compassion, the ability to love without losing yourself. This shift creates what Jung called the autonomous personality. This autonomous self operates from your own center, not reactive patterns. Narcissists can't hook you with drama, guilt, or manipulation because you've learned to distinguish their emotions from your own. A hallmark of Jung's individuated psyche. You become what I call emotionally sovereign. You give from choice, not obligation. You help from strength, not weakness. You love from fullness, not emptiness. This terrifies narcissists because they can no longer feed on your energy. If you've become immune to their tactics, comment below, "I see the game, but I don't play anymore." Narcissists will try everything: love bombing, threats, smears, but it fails because you've achieved Jung's psychological independence. Rooted in the unconscious, your sense of self no longer depends on their validation. Jung knew healing isn't just escaping abuse, it's integrating its lessons into a fuller version of you. Post-narcissistic growth involves key psychological shifts, starting with Jung's transcendent function. This function holds opposites in creative tension, compassion, and boundaries, openness and protection, trust and caution. This isn't contradiction, it's psychological maturity, the fruit of individuation that equips you for midlife's deeper meaning. You learn to spot what Jung called the narcissistic constellation in others: overblown charm, sub-stories, boundary testing, intermittent reinforcement. Your empathy becomes a radar for authenticity, not a beacon for predators. Your relationships in stage 4 transform. You attract those who value your depth without exploiting it, who can handle your emotional intensity without being overwhelmed, who respect your boundaries because they have their own. Reflecting Jung's conscious relating, Jung believed personal transformation sparks collective change. Healed empaths model a new way of being, showing others that sensitivity can coexist with strength, that compassion doesn't require self-sacrifice, that healing is possible after profound trauma. You become what Jung called the wounded healer, transforming your pain into wisdom to guide others. Each empath who completes this journey disrupts the narcissist supply chain, making it harder for predators to find easy targets. Jung saw narcissistic abuse as serving a psychological function for both parties. The narcissist avoids their shadow by projecting it onto you. You avoid your own power by staying a victim. This dynamic mirrors the individuation process in a distorted way. Both narcissist and empath seek wholeness, but through each other, not within. The narcissist consumes your vitality to fill their void. You seek wholeness by healing their wounds. Jung taught that true individuation comes only from confronting your own unconscious. Empaths break this unconscious contract by refusing to fix others and focusing on their own healing. You stop giving away your power and reclaim autonomy. This is Jung's individuation, becoming undivided within yourself. A whole, but not perfect. Wounded, but not defined by it. Jung saw empaths as evolutionary catalysts in human consciousness. You're not just sensitive, you're what I call consciousness accelerators, driving humanity toward emotional wisdom and spiritual awakening through your ability to feel deeply and love unconditionally. Your gift comes with great responsibility. You must wield your empathy consciously, not reactively, discerning when it serves growth and when it enables dysfunction. This journey prepares you for a purpose beyond personal healing. Aligning with Jung's vision of collective transformation, Jung wrote, "Your vision clears when you look into your heart. Those who look outward dream, those who look inward awaken." Awakened empaths become agents of collective change. Modeling healthy empathy and proving sensitivity is strength, not weakness. If you've endured narcissistic abuse, you're not broken or too sensitive. You're a highly evolved consciousness, learning to protect your gifts in a human journey. These 4 stages aren't punishment, they're preparation for your greater purpose. Each stage teaches you something vital. Stage 1 reveals your magnetic light. Stage 2, your need for boundaries. Stage 3, your inner strength. And Stage 4, your autonomy. Jung's work shows that individuation always requires facing the shadow, yours and others. The narcissist was your teacher, though neither of you knew it then. If you recognize yourself in these stages, trust you're exactly where you need to be. Trust your intuition. Trust that your empathy, when consciously honed, becomes your greatest strength. Carl Jung showed that empaths surviving narcissistic abuse traverse 4 distinct stages: the light trap, where your gifts attract predators; soul extraction, where they try to consume your essence; the dark night, where you collapse to rebuild; and the phoenix's rebirth, where you become unassailable. The narcissist taught you the most vital lesson: your empathy is sacred and must be guarded. They forced you to develop boundaries and discernment, making you immune to manipulation. Jung's gift to empaths is this understanding of their transformative journey. Becoming your true self isn't just possible after abuse, it's the purpose. You didn't endure this to remain a victim, but to become a conscious creator of your reality. Explore my video on when empaths stop forgiving every mask, diving into conscious forgiveness and authentic boundaries. Your journey through these 4 stages isn't just personal healing, it's preparation for your role as a healed empath in a world craving your gifts. Protected, conscious, and fully empowered. You're ready to meet me in the next dimension of healing.